Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. Let me, and I'm not going to yield for any questions. I'm not going to yield for any questions, but I do want to speak on this for a few minutes, very few minutes. One, first of all, just substantively, with all due respect, what the San Antonio City Council did was they did not give someone a contract because they don't open on Sundays and because 17% of all their traffic, of all the people that go through that airport go through there on Sunday. And that airport is not big enough to have 100 restaurants and give the folks that go through there that many choices. So when they didn't open on Sunday, that's why they didn't get it. At the end of the day, and officially, that's why they did it. Now, in addition to that, a couple of those council members had personal views about Chick-fil-A because of their personal views. But the fact is, they did not get the contract in San Antonio because they don't open on Sunday when they have such a large. I'm not going to yield, Matt. I'm not going to yield because they have so many people go through there that day. That's their business model, and that's fine. And let me tell you something. If the owners of Chick-fil-A really felt that they were being discriminated because of their beliefs or there was somehow a violation of their First Amendment rights, I promise you, Chick-fil-A is a big company. They got a lot of money. They'd have filed a lawsuit that day. They would have filed a lawsuit that day. Ask yourselves about that. And they didn't file a lawsuit, and they still haven't. And I doubt it's because they're waiting for the Texas House of Representatives to protect their First Amendment rights. They didn't do it because they know that's not why they didn't get the contract. Having said that, it is that incident, apparently, that brings us here today with this legislation. And we've talked about this before, members. I wish it weren't this way, that people are still uncomfortable with homosexuality. They are. But there's not a member in this chamber, not a one of us of 150 members in this chamber that don't know someone who is gay, who is LGBTQ. Every one of us know people who are gay, lesbian, transgender. We know people in our own lives, and the fact is, the likelihood is that every single one of us have people in our families who are LGBTQ. That's life. And I have spoken with some of you, and I won't say your names because you asked me not to. Some of you believe that people are not born gay. Some of you have said to me, when I ask you the direct question, do you think God makes anyone gay? And you've said to me, no. I have to respectfully disagree. The people that I have known, so many people that I've known in my life who I have seen who are gay and come out, they didn't decide to do it because their life was going to be easier. Oh, let me decide to be gay because my life's going to be so much easier because society is so good to gays. Oh, let me go that route. Life's going to be easier. People are born the way we are born, and all of us have members in our family and friends in our lives. And so unfortunately, we're still in that moment in society where things like this pop up, and we feel like we've got to do legislation to protect people's religious rights. I'm for that. I work very closely with my religious community. I'm Catholic, but I have been to a lot of Pentecostal churches, a lot of different churches that are not Catholic. And they all ask me to get up there, all those pastors, and speak to their congregation, and I do, with great fervor. So I understand protecting people's religious rights. But what happens then is you see something like what happened in San Antonio, and you convince yourself, oh, they did this because they didn't give them the contract because they don't want to respect their religious freedoms. I don't believe that is what happened in San Antonio, but it kicked this thing off. One of my favorite pastors, when we were first taking this bill up in State Affairs, one of my favorite pastors, I'm very close to him. I've brought him here to lead us in prayer more than once. He sends me a logo. He texted me the Chick-fil-A logo that morning. That's all it said. I responded by sending him the Whataburger logo because I like Whataburger. But this is a serious issue, and I hope that someday, members, we can get to a point where we can understand. I can't remember the guy that said this, but he said it when he was getting a Grammy. He said, love is 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 love. That's what it is. And when two people love each other, they're both men and two people love each other, they're both women, or someone who was born a boy but felt they were a girl. Because that happens, and the doctors in here who know so much more about physiology and understand the human body better than those of us who are not, understand that those things happen. We have got to get to a point where we don't hold it against them. Perhaps most of us or many of us will always be uncomfortable watching two men kiss each other or two women kiss each other or embrace or get married. Maybe that's just the way it is because we're just not young enough not to be comfortable with it. My 3 children, they're young enough that they're comfortable with it. Maybe we're not there yet. But members, these are difficult issues. We weren't sent up here just to solve the easy ones. We were sent up here to solve the hard ones. And my hope is that as we move forward in time, that each year we get better. But as long as we continue to see discrimination, this is much bigger, as I told Mary and others, this is much bigger than just about discriminating against gays. It's about discriminating, period. It's about bigotry, period. It's about trying to form a more perfect union, and one under God's eyes where God or Jesus Christ, if he were standing right here, would say, I love everybody, whether gay or straight or whatever. I believe that's what Jesus Christ would say if he stood here with us today. I hope we will get there someday, members, but those of you who are going to support this bill, we're going to respectfully disagree, but don't get mad at us, because we're trying to get to that more perfect place where none of us discriminate, none of us hate anybody, none of us believe in bigotry, none of us believe in discrimination. That's where we're trying to get, and someday we will all get there. Those who support this bill and those who oppose this bill, someday we will get there. We're not there today, but we hope by us standing up here and talking and you listen to us, and when you see the red votes up there that you understand, we don't believe we're quite there just yet. I hope that you will vote against this bill. Thank you.